So let's talk about the Christmas market attack in Germany, in Magdeburg. So in Magdeburg, you had that car, a BMW, that just plowed through like 2 blocks of people. People were just at some sort of Christmas market, a bunch of little shops, and just walking around, right? Walking around looking for things to buy. And a BMW, it's as horrific as it sounds. The BMW doesn't stop. It looks totally intentional, deliberate mass murder. Drives right through 2 blocks worth of people and then keeps on driving. And then eventually he's arrested right afterwards. And so I want to actually do some of these videos here. Here is his Twitter account. It says that he is Saudi military opposition. So it turns out he seems like he's very racist. He's very anti-immigrant. He's Islamophobic. But then he also says, well, here, take a look at his bio. So it says he's also for the AfD party, right? The Alternative for Deutschland, the Alternative for Germany. So here it says, Germany chases female Saudi asylum seekers inside and outside of Germany to destroy their lives. Germany wants to Islamize Europe. So he's against the Islamization of Germany, of Europe. And he's also saying that female Saudi asylum seekers who try to get out of Saudi Arabia are being hounded. So it's like the people that should be protected aren't being protected. I guess the females who are trying to get out of Saudi Arabia who are not into Islam. And then he's against the military. So this is the military of Saudi Arabia, right? He doesn't support the troops. He doesn't just blindly support the troops, which is, interesting. Here's another little picture of the car of the Christmas market attack. Now they're going to say Luigi Mangione is a terrorist, right? He's a terrorist. Well, my definition of terrorism is when you attack civilians for a political purpose. Did you attack civilians for a political purpose? Was it a mass attack of civilians? I feel like this is real terrorism. This is real terrorism. Magdeburg is the capital of Saxony and Anhalt, the state of Saxony and Anhalt of Germany. Magdeburg is west of Berlin. So these Christmas markets, if people targeted a Christmas market, maybe they were just targeting it because it's Christian, maybe because it's a symbol of Western civilization. Apparently it's been around since the Middle Ages. And there's something about Saint Norbert. So it could also just be a place where there's a whole bunch of innocent people. So this is, real terrorism, right? This is clearly terrorism. This was an attack of civilians. What's the political purpose? We don't know yet. It seems like it has something to do with the Saudi women being discriminated against. And I can understand something about that. If you hate the religion, but you love the people, so you want the person from Saudi Arabia to be able to flee out of Saudi Arabia, and then you want to help them get away from the Muslim Islamic religion. Now, somebody had claimed that he was a Zionist. People were talking about how this is an Islamic, psycho or whatever, but he turns out he was a Zionist. Now, I was trying to determine if he's a Zionist or not. I haven't figured it out just yet. But let's take a listen to some of this. It's hard to hear, but he's saying that he was he's got a website which helps people. He says that his life was threatened back in Saudi Arabia. His website helps hundreds of ex-Muslims flee the Gulf. So he's trying to help other people. It sounds good. It sounds like a good thing, to be honest with you, in general. Now, he says he uses WhatsApp, Twitter, Telegram. So let's listen to a couple more things.
I use basically WhatsApp, Twitter, Telegram. If I have time, I spend, totally, all the website is actually between 10 to 16 hours a day.
So he's helping Saudi asylum seekers. So let's just stick with the facts. So this is going to happen December 20th, 2024. So it was 2 days ago on Friday at 7 p.m. And he has lived in Germany from 2006. From 2006 till today, he was living in Germany. Still lives in Germany, was arrested. Now he hates Islam, and he also hates the West embrace of Islam. So you can hate the sin, but not the sinner, something like that. So you can hate he loves Arabs. I would think he loves Arabs. So when it comes to him being a Zionist, it wouldn't make sense for him to hate Palestine, because just like Saudi Arabia, he loves the Arabs, but he doesn't love the Muslims. So unless he just thinks of Palestinians as like more Muslim than Arab or something like that. 5 people were killed, including a 9-year-old. 200 people were injured. So far the death toll was 5, but 200 people were injured, and a lot of them are critically injured, including a 9-year-old. So this guy is a piece of shit. He killed a lot of innocent people. Talib al-Abdul Mason. Abdul Mason. Talib. I'm going to say Talib. So Talib al-Abdul Mohsen, he is arrested. He's a piece of shit, but he also loves the Alternative for Deutschland party, which is anti-immigrant. One of the people had gotten in trouble for doing a Nazi Hitler salute. So that's what I think of the AFD as, typically like racist, Nazi resurgence, but also just really anti-immigrant. That's the big thing with the AFD party. Now from me is Oman. 90% of the people who reach out to him are women. And so if you go back and look at the Twitter profile, he hates Islam, he hates Muslims, he doesn't give a shit about the religion. He's trying to rescue the women from Saudi Arabia, and so this would make him a threat to Saudi Arabia because he hates their religion, and he's trying to rescue their women. Because if it's very repressive, right, if it's like that one TV show with the women all dressed in, we've seen what, conservative Islamic women, they have to wear black robes from head to toe. There was something with the white hats. Anyways, it was a Christian thing, right? So any religion could be extremist. So this is one of the person that's a part of the process of the
refugees from particularly Saudi Arabia, but I graduated from medical school in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and then I moved to Germany. I specialized in psychiatry in Germany, and I work currently in a governmental hospital in Germany.
So he works in a governmental hospital. This was from 10 days ago. So he's, light brown-skinned man, has a high and tight crew cut. Crew cut, has a, little goatee stash there, right? They're saying that he acted alone. It was with a black BMW. He loves the AFD party, the Alternative for Deutschland. They say Germany, right? D is Deutschland, so Alternative for Germany party. This is what an actual terrorist looks like. He's killed 5 people, including a 9-year-old child. He injured 200 people. So he could be pissed off at the whole country. It doesn't make sense to be pissed off at the whole country, because it's like he's got some contradictory beliefs. I don't know. I'd like to know specifically why he did it. Was there somebody involved? Because this looks identical to an attack that had happened 8 years ago, which was an Islamic terrorist in Berlin. And he drove a truck into a Christmas market, and it killed 13 people. And then that man was going to get killed in a shootout in Italy a couple days later. So he doesn't fit the profile. He doesn't fit the standard profile. This guy's a doctor. He's educated. He's been living in Germany from, 2006 until today. So that's what? 16 years, 17, 18 years. So he's an ex-Muslim who hates Muslims. And he's pissed off that Germany and Europe doesn't hate Muslims anymore, much more. So let's see, what other facts do we got here? He's a psychiatrist, he's a doctor in a government building, psychotherapist like Jordan Peterson. He loves the AfD like Elon Musk. The AfD party is Alternative for Germany. Elon Musk says that the Alternative for Deutschland, D is Deutschland, is the savior of Germany. So Elon Musk says that this guy is the savior of Germany. This guy is a big AfD fan. Elon Musk thinks he's a big AfD fan. He's a psychotherapist like Jordan Peterson. So anybody could just lose their shit right on any side of the aisle, right wing, left wing, middle of the wing, authoritarian, libertarian, up or down. There's a February 23rd, 2025 election that's coming up soon in Germany because after Trump was elected, Germany's government had collapsed. These Christmas markets have been cherished since the Middle Ages. Alternative for Germany is anti-immigrant. So this guy's a fugitive from Saudi Arabia. Germany refused to extradite him when Saudi Arabia was bitching about him, which in general I think is the right idea. But if Germany is hounding the women from Saudi Arabia who's trying to get refuge, so it's like he hates the Muslims, right? He hates the religion, the extremist religion, but he doesn't hate the people or the humanity of the people. So he wants the women to be able to come over here and have a better life for themselves, and then maybe he could talk them out of their religion. He was a Saudi Arabian citizen. He doesn't like how Germany accepts refugees from Saudi Arabia. So if you're going to accept the refugees, then you should accept them, right? He doesn't want the Islamization. He doesn't want the country to go Muslim. But this Saudi Arabia is a very repressive regime. Saudi Arabia is a very repressive Islamic regime. They behead people all the time. The terrorists out of 9/11, most of them, 15 out of the 19, came from Saudi Arabia. So he's 50 years old, Saudi, he's an ex-Muslim, lives in East Germany, and he helped women escape from Saudi Arabia. So now I kind of want to just mention a couple things about terrorism. Just terrorism in general. So they said Luigi Mangione is going to get charged with terrorism, which, is it terrorism? Is it not terrorism? It seems like it's fucking overkill, really. I mean, New York City's going to fucking try him, right, for murder. So he's going to spend his life in jail. He's going to get, the guillotine or something. So how many times can you try the same person for the same damn crime, call it different, something different? Now you have, 20 different trials? The last thing I want to mention is just terrorism. So we have a war on terrorism, right? So in a way, I feel like the war on terrorism, it's over. Isn't the war on terrorism over? You had the 2001 authorization to use military force, and you had the 2002 authorization to use military force. And since we have two authorizations to use military force, Congress has not declared war since World War II. The war powers comes from Congress. How in the world are we fucking declaring war on anybody in the entire world? Since Al-Qaeda, ISIS has taken over Syria, and the Western media is seeming to celebrate the fall of Assad. Yay, Assad has fallen. He does seem like a piece of shit, but we're going to replace him with ISIS? We're going to replace him with Al-Qaeda? I thought we were never supposed to forget 9/11. So when the enemies of America, when the enemies of 9/11 has taken over Syria, why would America be happy about that? Yay, Al-Qaeda. I mean, he's calling himself HTS or some shit, so he's rebranded himself, but he was former ISIS, former Al-Qaeda, and what? We're going to say, hey, a man can change that Golani? So you got the 2001 authorization to use military force in 2002. You got 2 authorizations to use military force. 2002 was for Iraq, so we're going to put that off to the side for now. The 2001 authorization to use military force was for 9/11. So the enemies that have perpetrated 9/11, that's why we have a war on terror. A war on terror against those who did 9/11. 3,000 people were killed in New York City, and I think that that means 2 main people. There's 2 main groups of people who would be the enemies of America by the 2001 authorization to use military force. Number 1, Saudi Arabia. How the fuck did we go into Iraq? How the fuck did we go into Afghanistan? Why are we killing all these fucking Palestinians when 15 out of 19 hijackers came from Saudi Arabia? 2 of them came from the United Arab Emirates, 1 came from Egypt, and 1 came from Lebanon. So, since Al-Qaeda has taken over Syria and the Western media has celebrated it, I'm not sure what the politicians, a lot of politicians have celebrated it too, but he's still got a $10 million bounty on his head. So it's like we're schizophrenic, but America's bombing the shit out of Syria, Israel's moving in, so this very much seems like it's a success for Turkey, America, and Israel. So if America is going to be united and allied with Al-Qaeda and ISIS, who just took over Syria, then that means the war on terror is over. Unless we're about to invade Saudi Arabia, we're not enemies with Al-Qaeda no more. Al-Qaeda is not our enemies anymore. We're friends with ISIS. We're friends with Al-Qaeda. Hey, Al-Qaeda, we're cool with you now because of fucking Syria, right? So this means that the war on terror is over. The war on terror, so that's hallelujah, right? When it comes to people talking about terrorism, are we talking about real fucking terrorism? I mean, people are getting, gunned down left and right. Real fucking terrorism? Just to remind you of what happened on 9/11, there was 4 attacks, right? The 2 towers goes down, the Pentagon was attacked, and then that plane that crashes into rural Pennsylvania was going after the Capitol. But the passengers had revolted, and therefore the plane went down and it didn't crash into the Capitol. So you had 4 planes all going to attack simultaneously. Pentagon gets attacked, which kind of looks like a missile. The 2 twin towers got attacked, and then what happened to that 3rd tower? Why did that 3rd tower fall down? And then that plane in Pennsylvania. So we're supposed to never forget, right? 15 Saudi Arabians, 2 United Arab Emirates, 1 Egyptian, and 1 Lebanese. Now, the Egyptian was the one that was actually running it, Muhammad Atta. Now, Muhammad Atta, he had signed a will to give up his life in 1996 after Israel had attacked Lebanon in Operation Grapes of Wrath. So this happens in 1996, right? So Muhammad Atta was pissed off when Israel attacked Lebanon. Israel just attacked Lebanon, Operation Grapes of Wrath. Muhammad Atta says, fuck it, I'm going to give up my life in 1996 for this fight against Israel, Lebanon. So that's exciting, right? The war on terror is over. That's my main point that I want to mention about terrorism. Luigi Mangione is a terrorist. This Talib Al-Abdul Mohsen is definitely a terrorist. 9/11 was definitely terrorism. Luigi Mangione, I don't know. Is he attacking civilians? A civilian, but a rich and powerful civilian. Is he part of the government? They lobby. They donate money. I don't know. Terrorism? But the crash into the Christmas market in Germany, that definitely is terrorism. Basically, America being allied with Al-Qaeda in Syria would be like defeating the Nazis, but then helping the Nazis take over Canada. We're not really at war with Nazi Germany anymore if we're helping the Nazis take over Canada, right? So it's a good thing that the war on terror is over. So let's celebrate, everybody. The war on terror is over. Is he a Zionist? I don't know. I can't tell if he's a Zionist. Does he think the Palestinian people are Arabs? Because there's going to be women in Palestine who wants to try to get out too. So since he's helping the women of Saudi Arabia, it seems like he loves the Arab man, loves the humanity of all people, just hates that their religion, hates that Muslim Islamization makes them extreme. Which that kind of, Judaism, Christianity, Buddhism, the fucking Buddhists. The worst I've ever seen a Buddhist is just kind of light themselves on fire. Never really seen a Buddhist do some kind of attack to anybody else. They're supposed to be known as like Tai Chi, right? They're supposed to just be like, oh, hey, chill, bro. Hey, bro, just chill, man. So, Talib al-Abdul Mohsen, definitely a fucking terrorist. Seems like a big right-winger, psychotherapist, psychiatrist like Jordan Peterson, loves the Alternative for Germany party, which is anti-immigrant, a lot of Nazis in it. So, what do I make of all this? I don't know. It's complicated. So we need further details. We need to hear this guy tell us why he did this.